Story time, story time, story time again. Story time, story time, story time again.
Hi, and welcome to Storytime with the San Bruno Library. I'm Miss Susan, and I'm so happy to read you stories today. I hope that you like them all. We have 4 different stories today. They're really, really good. But before we get started, let's sing our welcome song. Do you remember it? Sometimes you sing it if you come and visit us at the library for Storytime. It goes like this. We're glad you're here today. We're glad you're here today. Hi-ho the merry-o, we're glad you're here today. Oh, great! I'm so glad that some of you knew that. It's a pretty easy song, and maybe you'll come and visit us and sing it with us at the library. Today, I have some great books, and they're all trickster tales. Tricksters are animals or people in different cultures who sometimes play tricks on people. Sometimes it's to teach them a lesson, or sometimes it's just to show how clever they are. And sometimes tricksters are animals, and sometimes they're people. And we have 4 books. Some of the tricksters in them are people, and some of them are animals. So our first one today is called Love and Roast Chicken, a trickster tale from the Andes Mountains by Barbara Knutson. And the Andes Mountains are in the country of Peru, which is pretty far away from us. We live in North America, and Peru is in South America. Okay, our first book, Love and Roast Chicken by Barbara Knutson, starts like this. One day in the high Andes Mountains, Cui the guinea pig was climbing up and down the paths looking for something to eat. But just as he opened his mouth to take a bite of tender sweet grass, Cui saw Tío Antonio, the fox, coming over the rocks right in front of him, and there was no time to hide. Cui thought fast. He squeezed under the edge of a great rock and pressed up with his arms. Aha! Dinner! Snarled Fox, ready to pounce. Tío Antonio! Cried Cui. Haven't you heard? The sky is falling. Nonsense! Growled Tío Antonio, but he couldn't help looking up. It looks the same as always. That's because I'm holding it up with this rock, said Cui. I've been here all day, and I really need to go to the bathroom. Please, will you hold this rock for just a moment? Fox looked up again. It would be terrible if the sky fell. He crouched under the rock and pushed up with his front legs. Don't let go, warned Cui, or we will all be squashed flat. He disappeared behind some bushes and scurried off to look for more food. By sunset, Tío Antonio couldn't hold his arms up any longer. I have to let go, even if the sky falls. He ducked and let go. Nothing happened. The rock and the sky stayed where they had always been. Oh, get that guinea pig, barked Fox, and he bounded down the trail. Cui had just found another patch of sweetgrass when he saw Fox coming. Instantly, he started digging into the side of the hill. This time I've got you, said Tío Antonio, and he grabbed Cui's leg. Amigo mío, yelped Cui. Don't you know the world is ending tonight in a rain of fire? Help me dig a safe den. I'm not going to believe you this time, declared Fox. All right, said Guinea Pig. Don't blame me when your whiskers are on fire. Fox trembled. What if this were true? He shoved Cui aside and crawled into the dugout hole. Well then, this hole is for me, compadre. Go dig your own. Cui sighed. Está bien. I'll even pile some rocks in front of the door to keep you safe from sparks. When the world ends, remember I was your last friend. Tío Antonio huddled at the back of the den and waited. The end of the world! No more dancing by moonlight with the village girls. No more chicken dinners from the farmer's flock. But could this be just another trick? He peered through the rocks covering the entrance. Fuego! Flames crackled and smoked on the other side. Whew, what a good thing he was safe! When morning came at last, the flames were gone. Tío Antonio pushed away the rocks to see what the end of the world looked like. The sun was shining, a condor was soaring over the mountains, and down in the valley, Florinda, the farmer's daughter, was planting potatoes. In front of Fox's den lay a pile of ashes from Guinea Pig's fire. "Quee!" howled Fox. "Next time I will eat you on the spot." But Quee had a plan. "I'm going where there's plenty of food and someone who always chases Fox away," he decided. He put on a hat and a poncho and went down the mountain to knock on the farmer's door. Look at Quee in his outfit. "Buenos dias, Papai," said Quee. "Need any help with the alfalfa?" What a small man, thought the farmer, "but I do need help." "Bueno," he said, "you can start right away." All day, Quee helped Florinda weed and hoe and water the fields. But at night, he feasted on fresh alfalfa. "All this food and no fox in sight. I'm going to stay here the rest of my life," he declared. By the third day, the farmer noticed something was wrong. "Who is stealing all my alfalfa?" he wondered. "I'd better make it look like someone is guarding the field." He shaped a little person out of clay, and he covered it with the sticky sap of eucalyptus. He propped it up in the field, and he went to bed. In the middle of the night, Quee crept out for a snack, but someone had gotten there before him. Look, it was the little figure that the farmer made. "Buenas noches. Are you a friend of Florinda's?" he said. But the visitor said nothing. "I said, 'Hello!'" Quee reached out to shake her hand, but his paw got stuck. "Oh, so you want to hold my hand," said Quee. He patted her on the shoulder with his other paw, but that one stuck too. "Caramba, let go," Guinea Pig said. "If you don't let go, I'll kick you." But the person didn't say a word, and she didn't let go. Quee kicked hard with his right foot, which stuck. Then he kicked with his left foot, and that stuck too. "How rude," he cried. "Let go, or I'll hit you with my head." But when he did that, his head got stuck. "Let me go!" shouted Quee so loudly that the farmer woke up and ran outside. "Que tramposo! What a rascal! You're not a farm worker, you're a guinea pig," said the farmer. "And you've been eating all my alfalfa. Well, Florinda loves to eat roast guinea pig, and tomorrow we will eat you." He pulled Quee free from the sticky gum doll. Then he tied him to the eucalyptus tree and went back to bed. "Oh, it can't get any worse than this," thought Quee. But here came Tío Antonio the fox, sneaking toward the chicken coop. "Well, well, well," said Fox. "I was looking for chicken dinner, but here is my appetizer." He came closer, the moonlight glinting on his sharp teeth. "Why are you tied up?" Guinea Pig gulped. Everyone wanted to eat him. "Oh, Tío Antonio," he gasped, thinking fast. "It's all because of love and roast chicken." Fox perked up his ears. Those are my favorite subjects. Cui put his paw over his heart. You know the farmer's daughter Florinda? She wants to marry me, but the trouble is she eats chicken every single day. Can you imagine it? Fox imagined it. But I am a vegetarian, declared Cui. They've tied me up until I promise to marry Florinda and eat big plates of roast chicken every day. What am I going to do? Pobrecito, said Tio Antonio, licking his lips. I hate to see you suffer. It will be a hard life for me, but just to help you, I will take your place. Really? Said Cui. You are very kind. So Fox untied Cui. Then Cui tied Tio Antonio to the tree and slipped back into the alfalfa field for one last feast. The next morning, the farmer came out to untie his dinner. To his surprise, he found a fox. What now? Another disguise? The farmer picked up a stick. Oh no, Papay, don't hit me, said Tio Antonio. I promise to eat one of your chickens every day of the year. ¿Cómo? Cried the farmer. Of course, Papay, Tio Antonio added quickly. I also plan to marry your daughter. ¿Cómo? Spat the farmer, and he raised the stick over his head as fast as he could. Tio Antonio explained what Cui had said. You believed a story like that? How foolish. And the farmer laughed and laughed until the tears ran down his cheeks. Que ridicula. While the farmer laughed, Fox bit clean through the rope and scrambled over the field wall. Quee! He howled as he ran. You will never trick me again. And to make sure that was true, he stayed away from Cui for a long, long time. The end. So that is Love and Roast Chicken. And our trickster in this tale, I bet you can guess who it was. It was Cui, the guinea pig. Now this story, remember I said in the beginning, it came from the country of Peru. And here's a picture at the back of the book of where Peru is in South America. You can see we're up here in North America and Peru is all the way down here. And another nice thing about this book is it has a list of words, maybe some words that you didn't know before. Some of the words that in this book were in Spanish and some of them were in a language called Quechua. So you could learn some new language words if you read this book when you take it home. I hope you do. All right, Love and Roast Chicken. We're going to take a break now, and hopefully you'll come back to hear our next story.
All cyclists, adults and children, should follow standard safety precautions. One of the first and best rules to remember is
always wear a helmet!
Never wear a hat under your bike helmet. The helmet should be worn level and cover your forehead. The straps should always be fastened. A head injury means a brain injury. If your helmet doesn't have a Consumer Product Safety Commission sticker, get one that does. Brought to you by San Bruno's Bicycle and Pedestrian Committee and San Bruno Cable.
Low-fat cheese sandwiches on whole wheat bread. Chewy and good for you. Snacks high in calcium help build strong bones, and foods rich in fiber are good for your heart. So you have the power to dominate. Can your food do that? Run, throw, think, eat better. Find out more at smallstep.gov.
Welcome back to Storytime with the San Bruno Library. Today we're reading Trickster Tales. Our next book is called Just a Minute, a Trickster Tale and Accounting Book. In this book, our trickster is a person named Grandma Beetle, instead of an animal like in the first book that we read. So this is called Just a Minute, a Trickster Tale and Counting Book by Yuyi Morales. When Grandma Beetle woke at dawn, she heard a knock at the door. And oh my, waiting outside, she found Señor Calavera. Señor Calavera tipped his hat. What a skinny gentleman! With a pass of his hand, he signaled to Grandma Beetle. It was time for her to come along with him. Just a minute, Señor Calavera, Grandma Beetle said. I will go with you right away. I have just one house to sweep. Señor Calavera remembered he had extra time today, so he decided to wait. Uno, one swept house, counted Señor Calavera, and he rose from his seat. Just a minute, Señor Calavera, Grandma Beetle said. I will go with you right away. I have just 2 pots of tea to boil. Señor Calavera sighed. Waiting a little longer wouldn't hurt anybody after all. Dos, 2 steaming pots of tea, counted Señor Calavera, and he headed for the door. Just a minute, Señor Calavera, Grandma Beetle said. I will go with you right away. I have just 3 pounds of corn to make into tortillas. Señor Calavera rolled his eyes. He had to be very patient sometimes. Tres, 3 stacks of tortillas, counted Señor Calavera, and he put on his hat. Just a minute, Señor Calavera, Grandma Beetle said. I will go with you right away. I have just 4 fruits to slice. Señor Calavera frowned. This was taking more time than he expected. Cuatro, 4 fruits made into salad, counted Señor Calavera, and he motioned that they should go. Just a minute, Señor Calavera, Grandma Beetle said. I will go with you right away. I have just 5 cheeses to melt. Señor Calavera tapped his fingers. This was getting out of hand. Cinco, 5 melted cheese, counted Señor Calavera, and he hurried to help Grandma Beetle with her sweater. Just a minute, Señor Calavera, Grandma Beetle said. I will go with you right away. I have 6 pots of food to cook. Señor Calavera threw up his hands. What else could he do? 6 pots of delicious food, counted Señor Calavera, and he offered Grandma Beetle his arm. Just a minute, Señor Calavera, Grandma Beetle said. I will go with you right away. I'd 7 piñatas to fill with candy, though. Señor Calavera shook his head in disbelief. It was getting late. 7 piñatas full of candy, counted Señor Calavera, and he held open the door for Grandma Beetle. Just a minute, Señor Calavera, Grandma Beetle said. I will go with you right away. I have just 8 platters of food to arrange on the table. Enough, Señor Calavera thought. He could take no more. 8 platters of food set on the table, but Señor Calavera had lost count. He was too busy stomping on the floor. Oh, look, Señor Calavera, Grandma Beetle exclaimed. Here come my grandchildren. Señor Calavera took a deep breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 beautiful children, grandchildren, came through the door. The children sat at the table, everyone at his place. Now, Grandma Beetle said, all my guests are here, and together they make 10. But the guests sitting at the table counted only 9. Grandma, the children protested, where's guest number 10? Here he is, she answered. It was Señor Calavera. 10. Number 10, of course, is Señor Calavera. It was time to celebrate Grandma Beetle's birthday. When the birthday cake was all aflame, Grandma Beetle blew out the candles with a gust like a hurricane. When the party was over, Grandma Beetle kissed her grandchildren one by one. Then she announced, "I am ready, Señor Calavera." But oh my, where was Señor Calavera? Grandma Beetle only found a note. Dear Grandma Beetle, your birthday party was a scream. I had fun like never before. I wouldn't miss your next birthday party for anything in the world. You can count on that. Sincerely yours, Señor Calavera. The end. And that is the end of Just a Minute, a trickster tale. And Grandma Beetle was the trickster. She tricked Señor Calavera into leaving by himself. That was fun, wasn't it? Our next book is called Zomo the Rabbit, a trickster tale from West Africa. It's another country even farther away, by Gerald McDermott. You see the rabbit on there? That's Zomo. Zomo, Zomo the rabbit. He is not big, he is not strong, but he is very clever. Time was, Zomo wanted more than cleverness. He wanted wisdom. He went to Sky God and asked for it. Zomo, it is not so simple, said Sky God. To get wisdom, you must earn it. How? Asked Zomo. You must do 3 impossible things, answered Sky God. First, bring me the scales of big fish in the sea. Second, bring me the milk of wild cow. Third, bring me the tooth of leopard. Oh, I will try, said Zomo, and off he hopped. Zomo went to the edge of the sea. He began to play his drum. He played so loud his drumbeat went down to the bottom of the sea. Deep below, Big Fish heard the music of the drum. Big Fish came up out of the water. He danced on the sand. Faster and faster, Zomo beat his drum. Faster and faster, Big Fish danced. Big Fish danced so fast, his scales fell off. Big Fish was naked. Splash! He jumped back into the sea. Quickly, Zomo scooped up the fish scales in his hat and hopped into the forest. Oh, Zomo was clever, wasn't he? In the forest, Zomo climbed a palm tree. He looked all around. Then he saw a wild cow. Ha ha ha, laughed Zomo. You are not so big. You are not so strong. Who's that laughing at me? Asked Wild Cow. It is me, called Zomo. I say, you are not even strong enough to knock down this little tree. Wild Cow got angry. She ran at the tree to knock it down. Thump! She hit that tree, but the palm tree was soft and her horns got stuck. Quickly, Zomo slid down the tree. Shwoop! He turned his drum upside down and he filled it with milk. By the time Wild Cow got unstuck, Zomo was far away. Wow, he already has 2 impossible things done. Zomo took the path to the top of a high hill. It was the hill where Leopard walked every day. Zomo tipped his hat and sprinkled a few fish scales onto the path. He tipped his drum and spilled a few drops of milk on the path. Then Zomo went to the bottom of the hill and he hid behind a rock. Soon Leopard came walking over the hill. He slipped on the slippery scales and the milk. He rolled down the hill, tumble, bumble, bumble. Bump! Leopard hit the rock and his tooth popped out. Up jumped Zomo. He caught that tooth and quickly he hopped away. Boing, boing. Zomo took the scales of big fish, the milk of wild cow, and the tooth of leopard to Sky God. Sky God smiled upon Zomo. "You are clever enough to do the impossible," he said. "Now I will give you wisdom." Sky God spoke, and Zomo listened. "3 things in this world are worth having: courage, good sense, and caution," said Sky God. "Little rabbit, you have lots of courage, a bit of sense, but no caution. So next time you see big fish, or wild cow, or leopard, you better run fast, because they will be mad at him, won't they?" Zomo is not big, Zomo is not strong, but now Zomo has wisdom, and he is very, very fast. The end. That is the story of Zomo the rabbit. He was the trickster in this story, wasn't he? He fooled all the other animals into giving him 3 impossible things. That was fun. I liked that one. Well, let's do a finger play with a rabbit. That would be good. Can we see your fingers up like this? And can you make the number 2? And they go like this. My rabbit has 2 big ears and a funny little nose. He likes to nibble carrots and he hops wherever he goes. Oh, that was good. Let's try it again. Ready? My rabbit has 2 big ears and a funny little nose. He likes to nibble carrots and he hops wherever he goes. That was great. I hope you enjoyed story time today. I enjoyed reading to you. Hope to see you at the library soon. Bye-bye.
I'll find myself in story time again. Story time, story time, story time again. Story time, story time, story time again.